Hey everyone, thank you, Patricia. So welcome to our Women in Engineering webinar for 2021. Congratulations on your acceptances to our faculty. My name is Amanda Young. I'm an academic advisor in the Faculty of Engineering, and I'm also the recruitment manager for our faculty. Tonight I'm going to talk a little bit about our faculty and our student services, as well as some extracurriculars in our faculty. And then I'm going to hand it over to my colleague, Lorraine Donald, who's going to talk about the Career Center and some of their services that they offer. And we'll also be joined later by some special guests. We have two professors with us tonight, Professor Sarah Mashid from the Department of Bioengineering, as well as Professor Deval Kreshesny from the Department of Chemical Engineering. And then lastly, we're going to hear from one of our current students, Sharon, who is involved with POW, which is Promoting Opportunities for Women in Engineering. She's a third-year software student. So I'm going to get started. We can go to the next slide. So very quickly, our faculty has 6 different departments. So bioengineering, which is our most recent addition to our faculty. It's our youngest program. We recently just had our first batch of graduates from this program in 2020. We also have chemical engineering, civil engineering, electrical, computer and software engineering, mechanical, as well as mining and material. We also have 2 schools within our faculty, the School of Architecture as well as the School of Urban Planning. We're also affiliated with many institutes. Our faculty does, a lot of work in terms of cross-disciplinary research. These are just a handful of the institutes that are affiliated with us. So the Institute for the Public Life of Arts and Ideas, Institute for Aerospace Engineering, Institute for Advanced Materials, as well as the Trottier Institute for Sustainability in Engineering and Design, also known as TICED. So we can go to the next slide. So these are the 5 strategic research areas of our faculty. Obviously, there's research happening in many fields outside of these, but these are the 5 strategic areas that have been identified by our faculty. They include bioengineering, aerospace, broadband communications, engineering for design for sustainability, and advanced materials and nanotechnology. So our next slide, please. So in terms of our undergraduate students, each year we admit between 700 to 800 new undergraduate students. Currently we have over 3,400 undergraduate degree students. Of those students, 32% are female identifying, and about 33% of our newly admitted students each year are female identifying as well. We also have a strong component of international students at about 34%. We're very proud of these numbers. They're much higher than the national averages. We have several degrees that we offer within our faculty, obviously the Bachelor of Engineering, as well as the Bachelor of Software Engineering and the Bachelor of Science for our architecture students. So we can go to the next slide. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the student services available to you as a student in our faculty. Your main hub for academic and career-related services is the Mcgill Engineering Student Center, also known as MESC. I work there, and so does my colleague Lorraine, who you'll hear from a little bit later. So this is our main hub, and it includes our Student Affairs Office, so SAO, which I'm a part of. We offer academic advising, daily drop-ins, appointments. You can speak to us at any point during your degree program about any academic-related matter, whether it's adding a minor to your program, your course selections, your performance, or your graduation. Whatever your needs are, we're here to help you. We also house the Engineering Career Center, so Lorraine is going to talk about that in just a few minutes. And we also house the Engineering Peer Tutoring Services, EPTS. This is a fantastic group of students who offer free tutoring services to our current engineering students. They offer weekly tutorial sessions for freshman courses as well as department-specific courses. So definitely keep an eye out for that once you're in program. And we also have a local wellness advisor who offers a suite of events, one-on-one appointments, all designed to help you with your wellness and health needs while you're a student. And currently, we have remote advising happening. So we don't have in-person happening at the moment, but you can connect with us at any time via our chat line, remote appointments, or email. So all that information is available in our FAQ document, which is in the handout section. So please download that. It'll give you all the information you need to know about how to get in contact with us, as well as your department, how to get in contact with your department or your school. So we can go to the next slide. Another really great initiative within our faculty is Engine, the Engine Center. It's designed for engineering innovation and entrepreneurship, and it supports a wide range of activities geared towards entrepreneurship. We have a dedicated student space called the Engine Center. It's just across from us at MESC. They have study space and areas for events. They offer things like business mentorship, project-specific guidance. They have one-on-one advising and coaching, as well as speaker series and workshops, skill development workshops that happen year-round, and many networking events. So keep an eye out for engine-related activities once you join us in September. We can go to the next slide. I'm also going to talk briefly about research opportunities in our faculty. So our faculty, we're very much committed to giving students an experiential degree program. We want you to experience things outside of the classroom. One of the ways in which you can do that is through our SURE program, so Summer Undergraduate Research and Engineering. These are our flagship research programs. So the SURE program happens every summer. It's a 16-week paid research experience where you're supervised by a Mcgill professor and their graduate students. It's designed to help you develop your research skills as well as your soft skills, presentation skills, public speaking, etc. And each year we have approximately 130 awards or positions given out to students. I think this year is a record year for us. We have, I think it's about 165 students joining us for the SURE program. We also have SURE International, which is a travel stipend that enables students to participate in research abroad outside of Canada. So the faculty funds students who have secured research opportunities outside of Canada. In 2019, our faculty supported 15 students with about $75,000 worth of funding. Students went to places like China, the United States, Germany, Switzerland. So if you're interested in research, these are fantastic programs to help you achieve those goals. And we can go to the next slide. So lastly, I'm going to talk quickly about ways to get involved, again, outside of the classroom. Student groups are a huge part of our faculty life, our student life. The Engineering Undergraduate Society houses many committees, clubs, and teams in which you can partake and join. So committees such as, the Equity Committee, Junior Council, SEAM, which is Sustainability and Engineering at Mcgill, Engineering Games, Tech Week, which is affiliated with Tech Fair. You're going to hear more about that in just a couple minutes. We also have many clubs. You're going to hear later about promoting opportunities for women in engineering, POW. We also have Queer Engineer, NSBE, which is the National Society for Black Engineers, Engineers Without Borders, many, many more. There's a flying club as well, a craft beer club. Anything that you're interested in, you can find in our faculty. Design teams are also very popular. These are teams that are intended to give you hands-on experience in an engineering field, and it doesn't have to be the field in which you're studying. Any student from any department can join these teams. So for example, if you're interested in robotics, racing, we also have Concrete Canoe. The Mcgill Rocket team is our largest design team. We also have Formula Electric, and there are many others. These teams compete nationally and internationally, and they're quite popular. So yeah, many ways to get involved within our faculty. And that's about it for me. I'm going to hand it over to my colleague Lorraine, and she's going to tell you more about the Engineering Career Center.
Thanks, Amanda. Hi, everyone. Thanks for being with us today. Congratulations on being accepted to Mcgill. I'm Lorraine. I am a skills development advisor at MESC, and I work very closely with the Engineering Career Center team. So the folks at ECC are here to provide you with coaching and opportunities all along the course of your degree, so that you can gain the skills and confidence you need to find your first internship, your next one, or even your post-grad full-time job. Now, I think it's worth pointing out that the word career and Engineering Career Center might sound really big and daunting, but we help you with everything from your internship or your first research experience. Your career is everything that's tied to your academics to a certain degree. All of how to make sense of your extracurricular activities, how to start working on a CV, how to start preparing for interviews. So the Career Center has workshops and appointments where we can work with you wherever you're at, you know, whether you've been at Mcgill for 1 week or whether you've been with us for 4 years. I encourage you to connect with us on Facebook. It's a little bit quiet right now and will be for the summer as well, but it would be a great chance for you to take a look at some of the events that we've posted or some of the info sessions so that you can get to know our services a little more. Next slide, please, Patricia. So some of our programs and activities at the Career Center, we do, like I mentioned, advising services. So we can do a quick 15-minute advising session for a question, something nice and small, or we can dive into bigger questions over a half an hour period. We also do within our advising services mock interviews, and this is really helpful for folks who are going on their first internship, just to help you work through some of those questions that might come up. We do CV and cover letter reviews. We'll even review your grad school application if that's something you want to do later on. We host a lot of skills workshops, everything from CV writing, technical CV tips, how to network, how to prepare for tech fair, job search skills. We even have this great workshop for students who are graduating, negotiation and salary. We have workshops just dedicated to that. We also do lots of speaker series and industry panels. Often we'll invite alumni or people in industry to come and talk about some breakthroughs or just tell us about their jobs. We'll have, we've had video game panels in the past or panels about aerospace. Obviously, a lot of networking events. Industry visits when we can visit on site. I've had the chance to visit Google a few times just down the street from the university. We do host career fairs, and I'll speak about that a little more on the other slide. And we do have the engineering internship program, and we help students prepare for the co-op program. So if you're in mining materials or software, you will have a co-op program, and we'll help you get ready and help you polish your documents. Everyone else, you know, civil, mech, electrical, you are invited to take part in the engineering internship program that we run. And we'll even have info sessions and workshops about that later on. So we work closely with a lot of the student societies too, which is a lot of fun. We spend a lot of time, you know, when we're not coaching students or doing appointments, we spend a lot of time working with industry, introducing our students to them, forging links to make sure that you all have access to great internship and job opportunities. And we often work with professors and staff across Mcgill, and we'll host larger workshops or we'll work on some skill building, all with the goal to bring more information to you. Next slide. So career fairs, I just want to touch on this a little bit more. The Engineering Career Center hosts the largest career fairs actually at Mcgill. It's called the Mcgill Tech Fair for engineering and science. And typically we host these fairs 2 days in the fall and 2 days in the winter. And we already have booked our dates for next fall, so October 6th and 7th. And it looks like we'll be doing this virtually again. It's really a large event, and it looks like it will be the best format to do this once again. So it might sound a little bit early, October, to attend a career event like this, but it gives you a chance to start exploring and asking questions and meeting people. We do have first years who land internships for their first summer. I was actually just speaking to someone today who had been searching all year and finally got 2 offers 2 days ago. So some of these connections are made via Tech Fair. There are not only chances to meet recruiters, but chances to attend, information sessions about companies. So maybe if you're not so ready to commit to having one-on-one conversations, you could kind of, just hang back and find out about the jobs and the companies. So I encourage you to find out a little bit more in September about how you can prepare for Tech Fair. We will have workshops just dedicated to this to help you get prepared. I think that's it for me. I'll pass it on to Professor Mcgill. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Amanda and Lauren. Hi, everybody. Welcome to this webinar. And once again, congratulations on your admission to the Faculty of Engineering. I hope you have fun during your education, learn a lot, and also can have the opportunity to build your career. So my name is Sarah. I'm from Department of Bioengineering. If next slide, please. I joined the Department of Bioengineering in 2017, August. I'm also an associate member of the various institute and department in medicine, including biomedical engineering, the MI4, Mcgill Interdisciplinary Initiative in Infection and Immunity, and antimicrobial resistance, as well as institute and department in the Faculty of Engineering, like TISET. I'm also a new mom since 2019, and it's been like both challenging and interesting years, 2019, 2020 for me, especially with COVID. But we were able in the last 3 or let's say 4 years, we were able to build very interesting and interdisciplinary research group which combines expertise in different fields of engineering, nanomaterials, micro-nano fluidic devices, fabrication, lab-on-a-chips, and also for basically translational research related to the healthcare and diagnostics. Next slide, please. I started my lab in 2017, and my first students joined the lab. They joined in January 2018. We started with 1 PhD student and 1 master student, and now we are more than 11 members in the lab, composed of a postdoc, 7 and 2 anticipated PhD that will join in September. 9 PhD students. Of course, I have students in collaboration also with different faculties in the department, including chemical engineering, Professor Dorval, that you will hear about her more today, and the mechanical engineering, and also around Mcgill campus in science, physics. We also work closely with undergrads through SHARE program and also capstone design. Hopefully, my lab was always open even during COVID, although we had a couple of months like shut down in the campus. But because of involvement of my research in diagnostics and for diagnostics of COVID-19, so we were always busy and working in the lab. And as it's clear from the name bioengineering, it's a very interdisciplinary, let's say, discipline in the Faculty of Engineering. So our research is funded by different agencies from, let's say, medicine, from the healthcare side, from the engineering side. So it's pretty much interdisciplinary research that we are pursuing in the lab. Next slide, please. Briefly, in our research, we try to develop devices, portable fluidic devices that has a translational application for diagnostics. When we say translational applications, meaning that we need to develop devices that they have real life application, and we can use those devices in real life, either in hospitals, remote locations, or at home. So to that end, we need to develop huge number of extensive, let's say, knowledge in different field of engineering. We develop nanomaterials that can help us to develop biosensors with high sensitivity, high specificity. We also use different fabrication techniques, like develop different fabrication techniques, including nanofabrication, microfabrication, to develop devices and integrate these nanostructures with devices so we can have a high throughput and a true point of care device. We work on different aspects of the healthcare and diagnostics. We work on the detection of cancer biomarkers. We work on detection of pathogens, point of care detection of pathogens, including bacteria, viruses, and the most recent one is our basically involvement in the COVID-19 and SARS-CoV-2 virus as one of the emergency needs in the worldwide. Our research is widely accepted through like science community. We publish in interdisciplinary journals, including ACS journals, RSC, Lab on a Chip, and ACS Sensors. These are a couple of recent publications from the lab. And if you're interested to hear more, I would be happy. If you have any question, I would be happy to answer through email. You can also check our website or our Twitter account if you have any question or you'd like to learn more about this work. Next slide, please. Because of the nature of our research, we have collaboration with hospitals and hospital settings in Montreal, including Mcgill University Health Center. We have a collaboration with a Jewish hospital. We have collaboration with MNI, and these are examples of basically health centers in Montreal. And we also have collaboration, as I said, with professors within the Faculty of Engineering and also in the Faculty of Science. That's it for me. If you have any questions, I would be happy to answer either during this webinar or through email. Please do not hesitate to contact if you have questions. Thank you so much.
Hey, hello everyone. Very nice to be here today. I hope that many of you will be able to join Mcgill. So my name is Noémie Dorval-Courchaine, and I'm an assistant professor in chemical engineering. We can move to the next slide. So I'll just give you an overview of my research, the department, and some initiatives that are happening also within the department and the Faculty of Engineering. So first, a little bit about myself. I've been also at Mcgill for 4 years now, almost. And before that, I completed a double undergraduate degree in both chemical engineering and biochemistry at the University of Ottawa. And I was very interested always in multidisciplinary research and how we can combine biology with chemical engineering and with materials engineering. And so I continued my education by doing a PhD in chemical engineering, and I also did a postdoc in an institute that focused on biologically inspired engineering at Harvard. So both my PhD and my postdoc were also very multidisciplinary. I was co-supervised by researchers in chemical engineering, materials engineering, and bioengineering. So now, since I joined Mcgill, I want to combine all of those fields to create some novel devices that can be useful for society. So what we do in my lab, we use biology to create materials and then to build functional devices with these materials. So we start with something small like a virus or a bacterium or another microorganism. And we assemble them with different nanomaterials to create novel materials with properties of interest. So we start from the nanoscale and we build something that is now at the macro scale, that we can see, that we can manipulate, and that we can process, and that we can then use. Some examples of the uses of the devices that we work on are biosensors. So here that's what you see in the little cartoon, where we would use this material to transmit a signal to an electrode or to produce some optical signal. We're also looking at solving some sustainability issues by making novel bioplastic materials, novel textile materials that we functionalize with biological components. And we also look at replacing some components of even electronic devices with biological materials. As part of our research, we've established some industrial collaborations. So some of them include collaborations with intelligent textile company or fitness clothing companies that are also interested in exploring some of those next generation devices that can combine some materials and some biology. So in chemical engineering at Mcgill, we're about a third of women professors in the department, and we're a very young department overall. Also, something interesting to note for you is that about 50% of our undergraduate population are also women. So it's a very diverse environment that we are in. We can move to the next slide. So here I'm just showing you my research group in 2018 and 2019. So my research group also grew quite fast. I have eight graduate students, so master's and PhD at the moment, with a few more joining soon. And every year we have about 5 to 10 undergraduate students who join our group for short projects or for summer research experiences. And some of them stay over a year or over 2 years in our lab, working with graduate students in the group on various projects, and also helping us publish research articles. In those pictures that you see, there were actually quite a few undergraduate students, researchers that both helped me build my lab in 2017 and 2018, and they were involved in the process, and that also worked with graduate students through different programs. So through the SURE program that was mentioned before, and also in chemical engineering through a different research project courses that you can take for credits. And you do research in a research group, you do a presentation and a report, and that's considered a course that you can take, and you can do that with various professors in the department. So I always have several of those students joining my group every year. So apart from research, I also teach, so we can move to the next slide. In our department, overall, you would take a range of courses from basic science and engineering principles, moving to the basics of instrumentation, which I teach. And then you would learn about some fundamental chemical engineering principles, including thermodynamics, process control, so various core chemical engineering concepts. But I'll just tell you a bit more about what I teach. So I teach one of those instrumentation and measurement courses. So T291, it's a course that every first year student takes in the fall. It's very heavy in laboratory experiments. You get hands-on experiments, and you also participate in different demos to learn how to measure very important variables that we use in chemical engineering, like temperature, pressure, flow rate, the concentration of chemicals, and we see how instruments operate. So I think it's quite interesting to be able to learn more about how the tools that we use to measure these variables work. I also teach a course on energy systems. That's a course that's part of one stream in energy in our program. So there are different streams in our program that you have to take, one in biotechnology, one in materials, and one in energy. And so this energy systems engineering course is a very broad course. It follows a more technical course in energy. And this one is about really looking at energy systems and the impact of energy systems on the environment, on society, the interactions between energy systems, also looking at new emerging and greener energy technologies and studying the life cycle of these different energy systems. So it's a broad course that is not only technical, but also touches some environmental aspects and also looks at how technologies impact society. I've also taught Fac 400, which is a general engineering course in the entire Faculty of Engineering. And this one is about professional engineering practice. So it's the last of a series of faculty courses which introduce you to general engineering concepts. And this one is about laws for engineers, professional practice, sustainability in engineering, looking at different regulations that surround the engineering profession, and looking at how engineers practice, what are the typical steps in the practice of engineering. Apart from that, there are various activities that you might be interested in the department. So I've listed some of them here that I was involved in the past, including the POWI lab tours. So my lab and several women in my lab have participated in these lab tours that we give to high school students, female high school students interested in engineering. There's also the Society for Women in Engineering that hosts some events for graduate and undergraduate students. In chemical engineering, we also have the Equity and Diversity Student Committee, which is very active. So all of those initiatives can be very interesting for women in engineering. Apart from that, we have various events related to research, like a chemical engineering research day that undergraduate students can also participate in. For example, you could present the research that you do during a summer or during a research project course. And there's a range of student groups, including this one, the iGEM team, that students from different departments at McGill participate in. There is also the ChemiCart team, the Rocket team, so you can really find student groups for diverse interests that you might have. So I hope this gives you an idea of the broad range of activities that are offered in our program and in the faculty. So that's all for me. I'll pass it on to the next person.
Hello, my name is Sharon, and I'm the outgoing VP Internal for POW, Promoting Opportunities for Women in Engineering. I'm also a fourth-year software engineering student. I'm graduating this December, so yeah, that's me. I'm here to talk to you about POW. Next slide, please. Thank you. So why POW? Why do we need something like POW? So my statistics are a bit outdated. As we heard, it's 32%, but women currently account for only 32% of engineering students at McGill. This is the best of all universities in Canada, believe it or not. So it's positive, it's going up, that's great, but still not there yet. And then on top of that, only 13% of engineers working in industry today in Canada are women. So 13%, and I'll throw another one at you, only 9%, if I'm not mistaken, of engineers who are part of the order in Canada are women. So we think the industry can and must do better, and that's why we have POW. So next slide, please. Our mission and vision is as follows. Every time I say women, I mean feminine identifying gender minorities, trans women, cis women, and feminine aligned non-binary people. So POW's mission and vision is to encourage young women to join engineering by exposing them to the many career opportunities that an engineering degree offers. Kind of what we're doing here. To enlighten everyone about the important contributions and general role of women in the engineering field, as we previously saw with those amazing professors, to create a positive and friendly environment where fellow women in engineering can socialize and seek support, and to promote inclusion and diversity in engineering in all our activities. This is great, but what does POW actually do? We have two main portfolios, our professional development and outreach-based portfolio. So today, right now, what I'm doing, this is the outreach-based. This is when POW takes the time to talk to girls in CEGEP, high school, and elementary school about engineering and the opportunities that lie there. Believe it or not, there are a lot of young women and girls who don't know that engineering is an option. So I think our #1 top event is the POW conference. Actually, that was spoken about a little bit. It's when we host 120 plus high school and CSHEP girls on Mcgill campus pre-COVID. And it's a long day event of lab tours and panels and keynotes and design competitions as a way to expose girls to engineering. We also do caravan visits where we go on to CEGEPs and give a talk about engineering. Les Filles et les Sciences, we judge a science fair and we give a little reward. Then we have different mentorship programs, which is amazing. We've got shadow days where a CSHEP girl comes and shadows someone on campus, an undergrad, and Empower mentorship, which you all are eligible for. If you're an incoming undergrad, you can be paired with a mentor who's like an upper year undergrad in engineering at Mcgill. So you can find all this information on our website, which is POW. If you just Google POW Mcgill, POWE, you got it. But anyway, so that's what we do outreach based. Professional development is what happens when we cater to the needs of the current undergraduate students at Mcgill, mainly women. We do this with networking events and our new initiative Symposium, which is a 2-day event where we actually just started it this year, where we have keynotes, panels, workshops, and other networking fun games to do. Other than that, we have like smaller workshops throughout the year, panels, we do industry tours as well. We visited Microsoft and McKinsey once, and then we send delegates to external conferences like SWE and WISE. SWE is based in the States and WISE is based in Toronto. I actually went 2 years in a row. It's amazing. I think the next slide is when I talk about me. If we could just go to the next slide, please. Yeah, so this is like my experience. I joined POW in my first year, luckily, during Frosh, orientation week, if you've heard about it. My Frosh leader introduced me to someone named Marika, and she told me about the wonders of something called an ice cream social. So I went, it was free ice cream, and I heard about POW, and I saw Marika there. She was a friendly face, and so I got involved in my first year. And if you are now thinking, how can I get involved? It's pretty awesome. The way that POW works is we've got the executive team, we've got coordinators, and then we've got general members. So executive team is, I'm part of that now as VP. You have the president's VPs, so like different portfolios. We have about 10 portfolios. And then we also have directors in the executive team. Those are kind of hard for a first year, but right underneath that you have coordinators, which is how I started off at with POW. I was a coord for the VP internal and then a coord for VP conference. So I got to partake in that 120 plus students. It's actually that picture in the bottom, that like big picture. It was so much fun. So yeah, as a coord, you work underneath an external portfolio, a VP, and you kind of learn what the position is about, and it's a more hands-on role. And then lastly, you're a general member if you come to our events, if you mentor, if you're a mentee, if you volunteer, if you attend general meetings. So just by advocating for POW, talking to people about POW, listening about POW, you're a general member. So this is kind of like a collage. A lot of it is just POW related. It's been 4 years of my life. It has been my undergraduate degree. I did not feel like I was the 30% women. I was surrounded by these amazing people who are just there to make your experience better. And I think on the next slide, if we can go see that, we'll have all our socials. POW Mcgill is available on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. That's our email. Weekly newsletter, you can't click that link right there. But all great things. If you go to our website, which is, I don't have it there, but pow.mcgill.ca, mcgillus.ca, you have access to all of these. But yeah, you can email us asking about our events. I highly recommend you follow us on Instagram and on Facebook. If you don't have a LinkedIn yet, that's fine, but you can see amazing things and consider joining. Well, thank you for your time. I hope you learned a little bit about POW.
Thank you, everyone, so much for your presentations. This is just some final information about how you can contact us. If you're looking for help with your academics for student affairs, if you want to talk to an academic advisor like myself, you can contact newstudentadvising.engineering@mcgill.ca or advisor.engineering@mcgill.ca. Our career center, if you want to speak to a career advisor or internship advisor, you can email careersforengineers@mcgill.ca. We also have some of our social media handles here. And don't forget, in the FAQ document that's uploaded, there's links to, if you want to book a virtual appointment with an advisor, if you want contact information for your department or your school, all of that information is in the FAQ, along with, of course, frequently asked questions. So things like regarding minors, transfer credits, course registration, all of those things. So definitely take a look at that document. And I think that's about it. And one last thing that I want to add is that we will have some more events coming up over the next couple of months. Our next one that MESC will be participating in is the Meet McGill virtual fair. It's the last one in a series of 3. It's happening on May 20th. You'll get a chance to speak with academic advisors such as myself, career advisors, as well as meet your departments. Many of our departments will be participating. Mechanical engineering will be having a live session. They were not at the previous 2 virtual fairs, but they will be there for May 20th, and the majority of our other departments as well. So keep an eye out for invitations to that session. And we'll also be having a student involvement day later in the summer. It will most likely be happening in mid-June. So you'll get to meet students from all of these great groups that we've been talking about. They'll have presentations, you'll meet with current students. It's a fantastic event. And also at the May 20th event that I just spoke about, we'll also have current students, members from POW, and also members from our McGill Rocket team. It's one of our design teams. So please join us for those sessions.